Hey there, welcome back to another watercolor painting demo from ST Art Creation. I tried painting a peaceful old building by a pond with lotus leaves with soft light and trees reflected in the calm water. Here is a time-lapse video of the sketch for the painting. As I created the chapters, you may jump straight to the sky if you'd like. I am using 140 pound rough paper made of 100% cotton. It measures 16.5 inch by 11.5 inch. I applied masking fluid to preserve the white of the paper for lotus leaves in the pond. I am painting the sky wet on wet. I pre-mixed the colors I needed for the sky. As I typically do, the colors have to be applied to the paper before the previous color dries completely. That way, I can get the soft blends on the paper. So having all of the colors pre-mixed and ready will help. I'm starting with raw sienna for the horizon, then adding rose madder as a transition into the blue sky. Next, I'm using a dilute phthalo blue followed by a mix of cobalt and ultramarine blue. Here I'm using a synthetic brush to control how much paint I apply. I left a few gaps in the sky for wispy clouds, then painted their undersides with a mix of raw sienna, light red, and cobalt to add volume. Gently lift some paint with a damp brush to reveal white streaks in the sky. For the rooftops, I used raw sienna, cadmium orange, burnt sienna, burnt umber, and ultramarine blue. I am blending the colors directly on the paper to create a weathered effect, adding touches of burnt umber and ultramarine to the roof corners and beneath the window. Continuing with the same colors for the rest of the building, I am diluting them to keep them transparent and let the white of the paper shine through. I am pre-wetting the surface for this cylindrical structure, dropping in colors, painting the sunlit areas with dilute shades, and using darker tones for the shadows. At the same time, I'm painting the building's reflection in the water in a similar way. For the building's shadows, I'm using a mix of burnt umber, burnt sienna, and light red. For the windows, I'm using a mix of burnt umber, ultramarine blue, and Payne's grey. To create a sense of roundness, I paint a darker shade on the right and blend it softly with a damp brush. For the tree foliage, I applied a dilute wash of mixed greens and reds as the underpainting. The colors I'm using include Indian yellow, green gold, viridian green, sap green, raw sienna, light red, and ultramarine blue. Then I add detailed strokes to complete the trees. If you're interested, check out my How to Paint a Lush Green Tree in Watercolor beginner tutorials video using the link above. For the reflections of the trees and sky in the water, I use the same color mixes as above. For the sky reflection, I painted with cobalt blue and added a few ultramarine strokes to create a darker shade at the bottom. Gently rub off the masking fluid used for the lotus leaves, then paint the leaves using a mix of green gold, Indian yellow, and burnt sienna. Mix them directly on the paper. Adding darker lines underneath for depth. Finally, I use a scalpel to gently scratch a few horizontal lines on the water to suggest movement. Thank you for watching. Please share your thoughts in comments section.